This Pine Middle School, is that, okay. Oh, hey, how's it going? My name is Boze. Welcome to NBC here. This is where I work here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Some of you may recognize me, and it's because of this very newsroom that we stand in. Let me explain why. Cameraman Adrian, if you can go to the front of this desk here. This desk right here is what we call the newsroom desk. Some of your best reporters in the country have stood at this desk to report to you the news. Your Gerard Romalo's, your Steve Kruppe's. My role in this is to be in the background, looking busy. Take, for instance, when I came out here with the two papers, I wasn't really reading. I was pretending like it, but as long as you believe that I was reading. Terry here, to my left, he ain't doing nothing. He pretending, he looking at a screensaver. My role is to look busy in the background, like I said, and I've put together a video of all the times that you've seen me in the background. It's a segment that I call Boze in the Back. Please enjoy.
Well, Mayor Hafen says he was contacted by several people who wanted to recommend certain candidates, and he was quick to point out tonight the city attorney position is an appointed position. It's not an elected one. The council does have the right to decide who they think will do the best job. And by the way, it is a job that pays almost $200,000 a year. Jessica, no one, of course, was really immune to the recession, but many Latino-owned businesses have actually fared pretty well. And tonight,
this had to be an emotional conversation.
It certainly was, Dan. Let me set the stage for you. A group of friends go to Reno for the air races over the weekend.
Underprivileged in this debate. What did he have to say?
Yeah, Jessica, his is a message of speak on behalf of others who cannot speak for themselves, politically speaking.
The letter indicates that the allegations surrounding Dr. Michael Kaplan and now Dr. Lawrence Newman could mean there's a bigger problem in the valley. And that's why patient Robert Graham is speaking out. He believes more doctors are reusing single-use medical equipment. He wants to make it very clear that he in every way supports Dr. Kaplan.
Looking to score some big touchdowns this weekend.
Now, the four men who took plea deals in this case were never really promised anything specific in terms of their punishment.
Thankfully, those friends are okay. Of course, the NTSB is still investigating the details of what actually happened.
But also a classic case of a company that really didn't do its homework.
Other challenges the system faces is our transient population and the fact that we have no new taxes to rely on to fund all these programs.
they asked for $8.8 million to be cut. The fire department says they offered $3.7 million by cutting cost of living allowances.
Parents really have to make sure that their children wear the right safety equipment when they're playing on or near the street.
65 airplanes are taking place in the training exercises and war games known as Red Flag, and we're told
not only for himself, but all of the other patients affected by these allegations.
But one of the robbery victims in this case thinks that's outrageous.
Well, Maria, the exact cause of the fire is still under investigation, but a spokesperson for the Las Vegas Fire Department
meet and greet event here in Las Vegas, and it didn't take very long for the conversation to focus in on Capitol Hill.
Eddie Chang is live at Town Square, Las Vegas to tell us about some responsible ways to end the night.
Well, Sue and Jim, we all know people love Halloween for places like this. We've got the haunted houses and all the crazy costumes, but Halloween is also one of the deadliest nights of the year, made even more deadly because it's a weekend.
Also have a lot to gain when the stock market goes up. Dan, today I learned how someone feels about the market.
Senior tonight, Dan, who told us without that check, she will likely be out on the street.
Limited experience running this type of private jail, suddenly pulled out.
More than 51% of the patients there are Medicaid recipients.
Hey, Jim, speaking about shopping online, if you were online today, you probably noticed several popular websites, they went dark. That's all to protest a pair of controversial bills going through Congress.
Rosh Ghafouri, he's also on administrative leave. Ghafouri alleges Vermillion has committed fraud.
And works best for the community. As soon as they're scheduled, we'll pass that information on to you.
And you know, the same week the president said Social Security checks might not go out, Speaker Boehner said that's not necessarily the case, even if the deadline isn't reached. So here again, seniors are hearing different things from different leaders.
Well, that might be fun. We're talking about something much more serious.
Even though this child was supposedly being watched by relatives, it likely only took a moment for the accident to happen.
They try to stay outside with their kids when they're out riding their bikes or skateboarding, playing on or near the street.
Will be primarily on the east side of the valley in upper grades.
Say not only did the 58-year-old woman keep important information about the crime,
That if you have like $100,000 invested for retirement, since the market dropped about 10% over the past few days, you lost about $10,000. This might sound like horrible news, but depending on how you look at it, there are some glimmers of hope.
Those other interviews have not been released to us. And Jim, altogether, the depositions last for a total of approximately 2 hours. The interviews were conducted.
the letter Dr. Newman sent did not indicate which patients should be tested, but it did recommend any patient that had a biopsy.
Now, Orenshaw is first to admit that the details and specifics are far from complete. But Gerard, again, if he is reelected, he does plan to push this measure through.
I spoke with today here at the sign, all thought the same thing, that it was already a part of this historical list. So it was surprising when I told him that it hadn't been yet.
And while De La Hoya fans did come out in a big way, Pacquiao fans held their own weight.
They have reached an agreement with their fire department.
There may have also been caused by something electric. Of course, that is all under investigation.
Gerard Romalo is live in our newsroom to tell us how that could create a domino effect for other hospitals.
Well, Sue, UMC is faced with having to cut or scale back services such as outpatient dialysis, some prenatal services, even their outpatient oncology clinic.
There's very little chance this legendary store will run out of books. Steve Krupe, News 3.
They're here from, well, this is actually a kindergarten, first and second grade school, and we don't need anemometers. We just need to see whose hair is blowing in the wind. And not only the hair, wait, put those shoes there.
And in last week's case, police did shut down the daycare pending the investigation.
It's about the 10 other kids, except to say at this point they are not being considered victims.
15,000 seats, each one of them filled in that arena tonight. And while De La Hoya fans did come out in a big way, Pacquiao fans held their own weight. But let's put this into perspective. If every single person who came out to watch tonight's fight spent $100,
PR guy Mark Fierro and attorney Rob Martin only showed us the edited version of Fierro's interview with the teenage girl.
Is the one that is hoping right now that the numbers will change. He lost the election yesterday by just 10 votes, and tonight he told us that yes, indeed, he will be demanding a recount.
And this brings life back to Las Vegas, right?
That's right. Okay, all the people over here having a good time. Good music, karaoke, free, and good beer.
All right. Maria and Guy, 20 years here in the desert.
Googling someone to find out more information about that.
This event is a fundraiser for the Las Vegas Black Historical Society, and now they've got a whole lot of additional history to talk about.
We'll be rocking out all the way until 1 a.m. Now, the great thing is all locals are free. So coming out to Fremont, we do understand that there may be limited space.
Between Swenson and Koval, so just a few blocks behind the strip, if you will, close to Desert Inn. Now, that baby or child, toddler, was found.
Since the housing bubble burst, that revenue went right with it.
There are just 5 now who remain. We're told the reason so many jumped ship is because suspicion began to grow about how Vermillion was using the money.
That like UFC, fine, that's good for everybody. So, you know, I have no quarrel with the UFC.
It takes a lot of work to do a broadcast like this at night because we have to get up early in the morning. We have to 5, 6 different locations we have to be at. We have to pull cable for all of them, get mic checks, all before the roads close.
In each possession, when you get a little bit of a emotional jump, as you do, players on both teams.
Hey Terry, you want to sing? Okay, keep going, keep going. The key to my role is to always look busy. Like you look at Terry here. He ain't doing nothing. He's just standing there. The role that I play is in the background here. I like to stay busy. Terry here. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't on the phone. Anyway, my role is to always look busy. It's because of this very newsroom. Okay, ready?